So here it is, 1926 Hillman, none in existence as I think anyway. It's based on a Hillman 12, which refers to, I think, the 12 horsepower. Don't quote me on the engine size, but I think it's about 1500 cc, so 1.5 litre. And they're available in many different body configurations, but this one being a chassis cab, and being rebuilt from basically a box of bits. You know, it started from a chassis. New panels had to be made, so the ones on the front, they're original, up to the bulkhead here and the windscreen, but the roof is custom made, as so is the doors and the side panel with the windows here. This is all custom made in teak, bolts straight directly to the chassis, and then you've got an internal framework here which keeps the canvas taut and in the right shape, which I would say is probably about 1200 by 1200, maybe 1400 by 1400 square in it, so it's a decent size. You can sit in it. You know, it's a decent roof. All this is metal tubed, all slots in. You can take it off. Tension's held down by these rubbers, and then you've got on the outside, for the look, these strings which also do work, and then the back flap rolls up. So some of the things I need to do to it, it needs the number plates painting back and putting back on again. At the moment there's no fuel gauge. There's the fuel tank at the back, which is custom made because it's a chassis cab pickup, and so you've got your fuel filler there. At the moment there's a dip tube, which is this thing here. You can dip something in there and a piece of metal, and you can tell how much fuel you've got going in. The exhaust hanger, that needs doing. That's just a sort of temporary one which was being made. It needs a proper one being, you know, sort of fabricated to go around. It's one of the things it's going to do today. And the exhaust just needs tweaking over so it flows out the back properly. As you can see from underneath, cable brakes, all wood clamped to the chassis. Battery box, that's inside. There's your dash display. So you've got the starter button here, dash light, oil pressure, speedo, ammeter and clock. That's the choke. There's your gear stick, handbrake, hand throttle. This one here is the ignition advance retard. You've got the hooter over there, klaxon, and then for safety it's had indicators put on it just for road use. And your controls here are headlights, side lights and charge. So there's a manual charge, which is one of the things we've got to look at today, because when you pull that out, that should actually activate the charging system and start charging. So you should see the volts coming up, the amps coming up on there. At the moment it works in discharge, as you can see if I put the headlights on, but when it's running it doesn't work, so we've got to check that out. Quite an important thing. Yeah, nickeled radiator. Unfortunately it's got a dent here, but that is probably a little bit too sharp to take out. We'll look at that at a later date. That's where the front number plate goes, just where those two screws are there and there. But yeah, that's it. So all drum operated brakes, rods and cables going back underneath there. It is electric start, but starts off to hand very easily. And then into the engine. Actually, we'll open up the other side because that's the side we need to get into with the dynamo. There you go, one little engine. So, a couple of non-standard bits here. That's just the relay for the flashers for the indicators, and the control box there for it. Yeah, there it is. It's a thermo-siphon system. It has no water pump on it, just literally the fan, which is driven off the camshaft, not the crankshaft, just to keep it cool. So it's a thermo-siphon system. Klaxon over that side, a bit harder to see, But that's your auto vac, which is the fuel lift from the fuel tank, works on the vacuum off of the carburetor, and the exhaust manifold and inlet manifold are on that side. I'll poke you in over there, you can just about see. So what we've got to look at today is the dynamo, so positive, negative, and S, which I'd imagine is a exciter, but we'll test that all out. That's your oil filler cap there. Interestingly, on these, they don't have a dipstick, it has a float which rests on the oil in the tank. So that's full, and that being empty. So that's how you tell your oil level in the engine. And that little clamp thing there is just for a 5-gallon can, which we'll put on there. Got a nice Shell Mex one to put on there, which looks good. Yeah, that's it.